plug and pay. Tech giants with a trust problem take aim at the world's most sensitive industry. Big tech aims at the low profit, low margin, low profit retail banking industry. Retail banking industry. Silicon Valley firms are after your data, not your money. The annual Web Summit in Lisbon is Woodstock for gigs. Over 3 days in November, 70,000 tech buffs and investors gather on grounds the size of a small town. Rockstars like Wikipedia's boss and Huawei's chairman parade on the main stage. Elsewhere, people queue for 3D painted, 3D printed, 3D printed, 3D printed jeans or watch startups pitch from a boxing ring. Money managers announced dazzling funding rounds. Panelists predict a cashless future while gazing at a huge crystal ball. A credit card mogul dishes out company-colored macarons. Yet the hype conceals rising nervousness among the fintech participants. After years of timidity, big tech, with its billions of users and gigantic war chest, at last appears serious about crashing their party. It's the one group everyone is scared about, says 됐고. Each of the GAFA firms is making moves. Amazon introduced a credit card for underbanked shoppers in June. Apple launched its own credit card in August. Facebook announced a new payment system on November 12th. Its mooted cryptocurrency, Libra, however, has lost many of its backers and will face stiff regulatory scrutiny. The next day, Google said it would start offering checking accounts, current accounts in August 2020. Individually, each initiative is relatively minor, but collectively, they mark the acceleration of a trend. They mark the acceleration of a trend that could reshape the finance industry. The GAFAs have long had an interest in finance. Yet until recently, they focused on payments, each in its own way. Apple Pay and Google Pay are digital wallets. They have their own version of the cars. They hold a digital version of cars, but do not process transactions. Neither charges merchants a fee. They simply store everything in one place and make payments more secure by masking customer details. Google collects transaction data. Apple does not. Otherwise, holding a tab over a contactless terminal is the same as tapping a card. Facebook Pay stores card details for use on the group's various apps, Facebook Messenger, Instagram, WhatsApp, so customers need not enter them every time. Amazon Pay does the same and also saves credit card details for payments on partner websites. Uniquely, it processes payments, a task others leave to specialist firms. When a purchase is made through Amazon Pay, it asks the card issuer if there are sufficient funds. If the answer is yes, the shop releases the goods. The money itself generally moves at the end of the day. What these systems share is their limited success. After 8 years, Google Pay has just 12 million users in America, a market of 130 million households. Only 14% of the country's households with credit cards use PayPal at least twice a month. In October, the number of customers who use Amazon Pay was just 5% of the number who used PayPal, says Second Measure, a data firm. This contrasts with the explosive growth of the WeChat Pay and Alipay, China's super apps. These allow shoppers to pay for almost everything, nearly everything, from tea to taxi by scanning a QR code. Launched in 2013, they have over a billion users each. They process transactions worth a third of China's consumption spending and are now big lenders in their own right. But the comparison is unfair. China was able to refract the world because of permissive regulation and a lack of existing digital payment systems, digital payment methods. The rich world had a decent credit card system, points out blah blah blah, limiting the appetite for novel solutions. Financial red tape also binds tightly in the West. To operate as a payment institution across America, newcomers need a license in every state. That makes the GAFA's move into retail banking even more puzzling. Since the financial crisis, credit provision has become one of the world's most regulated activities. That constrains returns on capital and profits. Western lenders' valuation Western lenders' valuations are a fraction of tech firms. No, why would big tech want to be a bank? The answer is twofold. The tech giants may not yet know what they really want. Silicon Valley likes to place bets and see what sticks, and they probably do not actually want to be banks as long as customers do not notice. At bottom, a bank is a balance sheet, a factory that turns capital into financial products. For example, loans and mortgages, and a task force. The first two are heavily regulated, and big tech is uninterested. That is why the giants have turned to banks to do the tedious bits. Apple Card is issued by Goldman Sachs, and Amazon ones by Chase. Google's accounts are backed by Citi and a banking union. Rather, the tech giants copy distribution. Their smarter system and a lack of branches enable them to strip cost out. Says blah 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 blah. More important, selling banking products would lead their would lead more people to use their payment systems. Apple and Google want one more reason for customers to keep their phones under the pillow at night. Amazon wants payments in house so users never leave its app. But above all, the GAFA wants data. The GAFAs want data. They're already good at inferring consumers' preferences from browsing patterns and locations. But spending patterns are more useful. They could be used to assess ads performance and promote products. An investor says tech giants could even start dispensing financial advice. It may take them some time to get there. Current accounts are sticky. Only 88% of American retail banking only 8% of America's retail customers switch bank each year. Yet they should enjoy having more choice. They should enjoy having more choice. Having more choice, free perks and a greater user experience could sway them, especially if they know banks are in charge of the sensitive bits. Lenders will also welcome big tech, at least initially. Distribution accounts for half of the operating costs at America's typical retail bank. Tying up with the GAFA will be a neat way to access new deposits, a cheap way of funding, cheap source of funding. Yet, as big tech starts to own consumer relationships, banks will lose clout. They may be forced to give away more data and fees. They could end up akin to utilities, providing low profit banking plumbing, financial plumbing. Squeezed profits could lead to a wave of mergers and closures. Digital upstarts will also feel the hit, especially if big tech cross subsidies is financial offerings. Regulators have so far seen new entrants in financial services as a welcome catalyst for the innovation banks have failed to foster. That could change if the big tech charges in. At the Web Summit, Margaret of the European Union Competition Commissioner and a GAFA skeptic mused about the risks to democracy if tech giants become too powerful to oversee and regulate. We can reach for the potential. We can reach for the potential. She told the amped up audience in Lisbon, but we can also do something to control the dark side.